The Cowboys-Dolphins game just ended, and the Dolphins won 22-20, and as a Dallas Cowboys fan, I am not happy at all. And by the way, Merry Christmas. Entering the game, the Cowboys were 10-4, and they were led by MVP candidate Dak Prescott. However, their record against teams above 500 were 3-3, and those 3 wins came against teams who were barely above 500 at that time or below 500, and their away record was 3-4. And by the way, they just came off an embarrassing loss to the Bills. The other team in this match was the Miami Dolphins, and they had the same record as the Cowboys at 10-4, and they were led by MVP candidates Tua Tagovailoa, I think I'm saying that right, and Tyreek Hill. And by the way, some people still think Tua is a fraud, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, their record against teams who were 500 or above were 1-3, and that only win came against the Broncos when they were very, very bad. However, the edge to beating the Cowboys was that home record. They're 6-1, and this game was in Miami. Now let's get into the game. During this drive, it was going really well. If you notice that the Cowboys were giving the ball a lot to a certain player, an unknown player. His name was Hunter Luepke. Well, it still is. He's not dead. Up to this point, Luepke was an unknown, undrafted running back from North Dakota State that the Cowboys picked up during the offseason, and so far, he hadn't really been doing that much this season. But in this drive alone, this was his legacy drive, let's be real. Talked about earlier how the Cowboys and Dolphins were 2 of the best offenses in the NFL. Well, they were both the top 2 defenses in the NFL, yet somehow only 3 touchdowns were scored in this game. Good defense or frauds? I'm going to say fraudulent. The Cowboys used this momentum to their advantage as they chunked down a lot of clock, and they had driven down all the way to the 5-yard line. But it's 3rd and goal, and they need to score right here. And it threw me off so much when I saw a guy with the last name Elliott wearing number 21 because, you know, it reminds me of a certain somebody. So with new momentum and a fresh start at the 1-yard line, what do the Cowboys do? They take a sack, and I'm getting deja vu all over again. Also, you have to block the outside on that play. But take the lead on that play and that drive, it finally ended that game's touchdown drought. But there is still 3 minutes and 27 seconds for the Dolphins to drive down the field and score. And that's not hard for this Dolphins offense to do. And that's exactly what the Dolphins did. They drove down the field and chipped away at the clock. And Jason Sanders was without a doubt the MVP of this game as he went 5 for 5 on the field goals, 1 for 1 for extra points, and provided 16 points for the Dolphins. So what can we take away from this game? We can take away that my Dallas Cowboys are the biggest frauds not only in this game, but in the NFL. The Cowboys' away record is now 3-5, and going up against teams who were 500 or above at the time, they're 2-4. So if they don't end up winning the NFC East, it's going to be a big problem having to go up against, I don't know, the Eagles, Lions, or 49ers in the playoffs. That probably means, if you see from the record right there, that probably means we're going to lose against one of those teams in the playoffs. Another year, another divisional round loss.